Today, we're diving into something that so many of us feel but almost never talk about, that deep, nagging feeling that it's hard to make friends. It's such a common experience, but man, is it misunderstood?
I mean, really think about it. Have you ever been standing in a room watching other people click so easily, and you just can't? You wonder why it all feels so much more complicated, so much heavier for you? If you're nodding your head right now, then you're in the right place.
And let's just get this out on the table, right here, right now. If making friends feels like a struggle, it is not because something is wrong with you. You're not the problem. You are not broken.
The truth is, there are very real psychological reasons for this. It's something that gets misinterpreted, not just by others, but by ourselves too. Psychology shows us that this whole struggle is way deeper and a lot more complex than it looks from the outside.
And this is where that big disconnect happens, you know? People might see someone being quiet and think, oh, they're aloof, they're not interested. But what's really happening inside is your mind is analyzing everything. What might look antisocial is actually a deep intolerance for anything that feels fake. And that feeling of being awkward, that's just you being hyper-conscious and incredibly self-aware of every single micro-expression and shift in tone.
So to really get to the bottom of this, we've got to look at what's actually happening in your brain during social situations. Because this isn't about lacking social skills. It's about how you're fundamentally wired for connection and the huge energy cost of faking it.
Okay, so first and foremost, you have this incredibly fine-tuned radar for anything that's not genuine. While other people might just gloss over it, your brain immediately zeroes in on gossip, on subtle manipulation, on those fake personas people put on. The more self-aware you become, the less you can stomach inauthentic behavior. You'd just rather be alone than force a smile through some meaningless conversation. For you, being authentic isn't a preference, it's a non-negotiable. And this really gets to the heart of it. Small talk can feel like nails on the chalkboard because your mind is literally wired to go deep. You don't just want bodies in a room, you want real connection. You're craving conversations about big ideas, about how people really feel, about life, purpose, dreams. Anything less just feels like static.
And on top of that, your mind is basically a supercomputer for social analysis. Do you ever find yourself replaying conversations in your head for hours, maybe even days after they happened? That's your mind at work, dissecting every little tone and gesture. It's exhausting, and it creates so much pressure that even a simple chat can feel like a high-stakes exam.
You know, psychologists actually have a term for this feeling, that feeling of being just a little out of sync with everyone else. It's called social incongruence. It's just when your personality or your sense of humor or your way of thinking doesn't quite mesh with the people right in front of you. It's not a flaw, it's just a mismatch.
So with all of this intense internal processing going on, is it any wonder that you might keep your distance sometimes? But let's be really clear here. This isn't you being antisocial or trying to avoid people. It's a completely logical, deeply ingrained strategy for self-preservation.
A lot of times, this comes from past hurts. Maybe you've been let down or betrayed, so your brain has become fiercely protective. It's developed this kind of subconscious security system. First, you observe from a safe distance. Then, you scan for any red flags, anything that feels off. And only then do you start to grant trust, and you do it very, very slowly. Access to your world has to be earned.
And all that caution leads to this incredible trait: low social dependency. This is so important. It means you get your validation from inside yourself, not from chasing constant approval from others. Some people might see this independence and mistake it for loneliness, but it's not. It's a profound sign of strength. You'd rather wait for the right connection than shrink yourself to fit in.
And if you've ever wondered why socializing can feel so incredibly draining, well, here's a look at your brain's to-do list. While someone else might just be listening to the words, you're doing 4 jobs at once. You're processing their tone of voice, you're reading their body language, you're analyzing the whole social context, and you're managing your own emotional response to all of it. No wonder your social battery drains so much faster. Okay, so we've laid it all out. The struggle is real, it's deep, and it's rooted in how you're built. But now, here comes the most important part. We are going to flip this whole thing on its head, because what feels like a struggle is actually hiding your greatest strength.
First things first, we need to change the words we use. Your social circle, it isn't small.
It's curated. You are selective. You have high standards for the energy you allow into your life, and that is a powerful choice. It is not a weakness.
You see, the very same traits that make those casual friendships feel so difficult are the exact same things that make you an absolutely incredible friend. All that deep processing, it gives you profound empathy and killer intuition. Your cautious nature, it means when you trust someone, you are fiercely loyal. And that busy mind of yours, it's created this rich, fascinating inner world that you share with the very few you let in, allowing you to build connections that are unbelievably rare and meaningful.
This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Your process isn't designed for speed. It's designed for depth. The difficulty you experience is actually a feature, not a bug. It's a filter. It weeds out all the shallow, insincere stuff, leaving room only for what's real and what's built to last.
So I'm going to leave you with this question to mull over. What if this whole time, this struggle you felt, wasn't a flaw in your system at all? What if it's actually a feature, a highly advanced filtering system designed to make sure that the few connections you do make are the absolute best ones, the ones that are actually worth it?